Dear Traveler, the trouble with novels is they're very long. I am sure you already know this if you've tried to write, though you may be one of the lucky few who doesn't get stuck in their head. If you are one of those few, I envy you. Most days, I don't like what I write. I like the act of writing. I like the act of imagining, but I don't necessarily like what I create. I was watching Katherine Arden and Naomi Novik in conversation this week when they referred to part of the writing process as being stuck in a bog. This imagery seems fitting, especially for my own anxiety. I am often stuck in the bog, struggling to move forward. But, as with anyone stuck like this, in a metaphorical bog, I have two choices: to go through or to give up. Giving up is not really an option I want to consider, so I have been trying to teach myself patience. If I am in it for the long haul, I have to push through the muck of discomfort and awkwardness before I see the end. Katherine Arden said the secret, or one of them rather, to getting through a draft is to let yourself write a bad book. Something that I have to keep in mind is I am creating something from scratch. My story will not look like much of anything until I put in many hours, but eventually, after much molding and tending, it will turn into something. Hopefully, that thing will be beautiful. Either way, I have to keep moving forward and see. So, I am learning to be patient and to try sometimes to enjoy the work I am doing until I reach the finish. I'm trying to be less concerned about putting together a perfect, complex plot and to be content with planting seeds of ideas I enjoy. This has taken me and my story in unexpected directions. Before this week, I'd been focusing on inserting the events I think should happen into my draft, on creating a tried and true story narrative, but it felt unnatural. I was always aware of the bog I was in and stressing about how to get out of it, whether or not the steps I was taking were big enough or in the right direction. I kept balking, turning around, and scrutinizing what I'd done so far instead of looking for the things I loved about the writing I was already doing. It's not to say it's not useful to look back or that writing doesn't involve some balking and turning around and a little bit of being lost. But the problem is not so much exploring and questioning as it is getting stuck and not choosing a path. In between my writing sessions, I like to go for walks. If you've watched me for any amount of time, this probably isn't surprising to you. I usually go down to the river, walk in a loop until my mind is clear, and come back. But this week, I've been trying to calm my racing thoughts by sitting still. It's hard and uncomfortable at first, but I've started to notice small hidden things as a result. Mushrooms nestled in orange needles, tiny wild strawberries hidden under tufts of grass, and so many flowers and ferns. I had not realized they were there before. I was too preoccupied. I still am often preoccupied, but right now I'm trying to practice patience, to learn to give myself forbearance to write terribly and to enjoy the work of the in-between. I think if I learn to do that and to keep doing it, I will be out of the bog soon. So, I think that's all I have to say about that. I hope you all have a lovely day, and until next time, keep traveling. Bye.